There's a lot of money. Are you sure you want to spend that? I was like, if it's gonna land me the opportunity for my future at only 20 years old, I definitely want to do that.
Yeah.
And here I am. I just landed a 100K OT offer, and I'm very grateful with a big company called Cordy as well.
Hey everyone, I'm Samir. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Tech Sales Mentors. Today we're talking about you going from high ticket sales, from fitness sales to signing $100,000 offer in tech and in tech sales. And well, we want to talk about that. Let's first talk about like your background. Can you talk a little bit more about what you were doing before discovering tech sales and Tech Sales Mentors?
Yes, of course. So over here, I started in tech sales. No, I started in high ticket sales.
Yeah.
And what I was doing was initially I was helping students land serving draft jobs so that they can get into that industry. Oh, Samir, you got caught up? Oh,
Yeah,
there we
you're
go.
good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so I was helping students land jobs so that when they finish, whether it's architecture or engineering, they have a set of background on what they want to go into, or maybe they just want to follow that land serving path.
Mhm.
Over there now, I didn't really have anyone to teach me anything, so
Yeah.
I really had to get it from the get go. I had to do my own research, whether it was through Coursera or I had to do training with the owner, and this was a fully startup company, so it was only two people that was working, which is
Yeah.
me and the founder.
Yeah.
Now, I started getting a lot of results. I generated over $50,000 in revenue, and the company was starting to grow from there.
Yeah.
But I knew I wanted to get something more out of this, which was software sales actually. And now what happened in here was that I didn't have enough under my belt. I was also 19 years old when I decided to reach to Chris about potentially joining TSM.
Yeah.
But Chris gave me the best advice by far, that's what I can definitely say, was to get more transferable skills towards sex sales. Because I need some company that will be reputable, so when I start talking about them, they know what I'm specifically talking about. Especially Galet Fitness, which is a big fitness company in Canada.
Yeah.
Now, over here, gave me that advice, and I went to Galet Fitness, and I told Chris, I'm going to be back in 1 year. I'm going to be back exactly in 1 year.
Yeah.
So I became the top performer at Galet Fitness, being top in my division every single month, day in and day out. And that's when I decided to reach out to Chris again. And I was like, I am ready. I know what you guys do is great. I see the value in it. I know a lot of people will, especially when I told my friends, they were like, TSM is a lot of money. Are you sure you want to spend that? I was like, if it's going to land me the opportunity for my future at only 20 years old, I definitely want to do that.
Yeah.
And here I am. I just landed a 100K OT offer, and I'm very grateful with a big company called Cordy as well.
I did not know you were 20 years old. Like being 20 years old and signing a $100,000 offer, that is super cool. I'm super pumped for you. It's funny you say that. Did Chris tell you you couldn't, like now wasn't the right time for TSM? Was it because you were going for a remote role? Is that why?
Well, I was very new, and I was also like Chris also could tell the way I was when I first got started. Like I didn't know how to send proper emails. I wasn't the best at these stuff
Yeah.
because I was just too used to using Instagram for my high ticket sales role. So
Yeah.
he was like, you really need to learn about CRMs and everything before you even go there because I didn't even know what CRM was.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
year ago today, I had no idea what CRM was,
Yeah.
and I started learning about these stuff, which we use Dynamics in Galay Fitness, which is the third party company of Salesforce.
Yep. Makes sense.
So I actually started learning these things, and I started learning more on just how to sell better and
Yeah.
also book more appointments. Because
Yeah.
high ticket sales was also great, but as I told you, it was more students rather than like, and the tickets were like 1,000, but now
Hmm.
at Good Life Fitness I generated at least about 40K lifetime customer value as well,
Yeah.
and that honestly helped me a lot being top performer, and I just made sure I had to do that because that's what I promised to Chris, so
Yeah.
that's what I brought to the table as well.
And then this role now, the Cordy role, like, is that a remote role or a hybrid role?
It's a remote role actually.
Okay, gotcha. Makes sense. Yeah, I think yeah, and so one thing I want everyone to know as well is like I think if we were going for a hybrid role and like I know you're in Canada, so it might be slightly different, but let's say we're going for a hybrid role in like San Francisco or Toronto in your case. I don't know if Chris would have given you that same feedback that like you need to understand CRMs, but when you are going for a remote role, like yeah, the bar is definitely higher, and you need definitely more sales experience. And so I think that I just want to call that out as anyone who is watching. It depends what your goals are. Like if your goals are immediately in tech sales, you need to be remote, then yes, like you need more sales experience, you need to understand things like CRMs. But if you are going for a hybrid role, like the reason I also say that is because that's what I did. Like I went to San Francisco out of college. I didn't even know what tech sales was really.
Hmm.
I did not understand the day to day. And now they require more of you to know a little bit there. But I definitely didn't know how to use the CRM, and so that's part of it as well. And so when you were considering working with us, I know it started a year ago, and then more recently as well. Were there any like hesitations along the way?
No, honestly, not at all.
Yeah,
To be very, very frank with you, I didn't have any sort of hesitations. Now, the reason of that was because of the amount of connections I started building, and I was actually watching Chris's and your videos as well on TikTok and Instagram and on YouTube.
yeah.
Plus, there's actually another guy that posts TikTok videos. Now, I
Justin
don't remember.
Solis, maybe
Maybe yes,
with
yes,
a
exactly.
beard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, the bald guy, I believe, or buzz cutter.
Yes, 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 yes. Don't
Yes.
call him bald yet. He'll get upset about that.
So he was great. His videos were amazing as well. And I
Yeah,
started watching these. So I started connecting with people that were in TSM. And one of them was Elijah. Elijah is, as you know, the BDR manager at Dojabo.
yeah,
And I saw the amount of results he achieved. And I started reaching out to him. And he helped me out a lot with this process as well and made it so much smoother. And any sort of hesitation, well, I didn't have any hesitation. My only hesitation was, um, well, I ran a good roll, and he was like, "Did I land a good roll?" I was like, "Yeah,
yeah,
100%." So yeah, it was a great one.
yeah,
So that was my whole thing as well. Now about the thing I also said, one thing I would recommend to people if they want to get into tech sales roles, whether it's like remote or they want to get like a higher OTE, I would definitely recommend coming with Tech Sales Mentor. Because if you're not gonna do it without Tech Sales Mentor, you really cannot do anything else. For me, from my experience, the reason why I chose this option was first things first. I wanted a great role. You always want to start off at the top. You don't want to start off at the bottom and then try to make your way up. It will take
yeah,
a long time. I wanted my first year to be amazing, which is why I took Tech Sales Mentor. And also us, especially people who work full time, we really cannot sell, and we cannot send cold outreach emails daily and learn about companies.
yeah,
Tech Sales Mentor helped me out a lot. Now the only thing that I had to do was just to learn about the company, and learn how I can present myself in the best way possible.
yeah,
And it worked out really, really well,
yeah. Cool.
like really well.
Um, yeah, I think something you said there, like that question you had for Elijah, which was like, "Am I going to sign a good company?" And that's important to us too, in the sense that if you don't like the offer, then you don't sign it, and then you don't pay us, right?
Yeah.
And so that's important for us because I actually do believe people, if they didn't use our program, they could sign jobs in tech or tech sales or things adjacent to that. And again, it's just not the best that they could get, right? And I
Yeah.
think with us, with our coaching, like you're able to obtain more. It's like a dumb example I'll use. Like I'll use a basketball example. Like maybe without us, like you can get into the first round of the playoffs, but with us, like you can win the
Here you go.
championship.
Yeah.
And I think people who really care about their career growth, like the ROI is there. And so, awesome, you joined our program. Tell me about like what that first week was like. You probably had some expectations of what it was like, but what did it actually end up being? And tell me more about what happened there.
Yeah, of course. So my expectation was that I'm just gonna roll in and they're gonna send my emails and then I'm gonna get into interviews and I have to get ready.
Yeah,
Now here's the part that I loved. I had a coach named Aline and I cannot thank her enough for what
yeah,
work she did for me. We worked together, I believe 5 times during the whole week. So the business days, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we worked together
yeah,
on how I can elevate my pitch and be able to talk about myself, my experiences, and also the stories that I have that I just don't know how to explain. Because sometimes it's really hard for us to be able to gather our stories and give them in the right way,
Yeah.
like following the star format.
Yeah.
But Aline was able to help me out with that within the first week.
Yeah.
So I was fully ready for every interview that was going to come in my way.
Yeah.
And another thing that I really liked was every time I had a question, Aline would answer. Now, I can actually give an example of this. So I actually had an interview on my first week, 3 days into Tech
Yeah.
Sales Mentor, which was a crazy one. It was a great company as well. Obviously, with the skill set I had when I first started, I messed it up kind of, but I feel like if I were to go back, I would crush that 100%, very confidently, because I worked at TSM. And now what happened in here was they were like, okay, we want your second round interview to be in an hour from now. And I was like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? I guess I got to practice myself. I texted Aline, and Aline got in a call with me for 1 hour and got me ready for that one. Now, I went there, I gave good answers, but I was way too nervous, so I started like blabbing a little, but I lost the opportunity. But it was just a great experience, and I learned a lot from that. Especially
Yeah.
getting a call with Aline, it made me more comfortable and more confident to get into that call and
Yeah.
just be able to talk about myself and why I would be a great fit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that was definitely a unique moment that doesn't happen often. Um, what I think is important is like for people to realize that even with working with tech sales mentors, rejection is still a part of the process.
That's,
And despite that, we're going to get you into a lot of interviews. And so, how many interviews were you in?
I actually landed 14 interviews, and I got 6 rejections. Now, the good thing was the company that I was looking at the most was the one that actually accepted me. So
Yeah.
the other 6 that I did not get were great opportunities as well. Don't get me wrong at all, but the one I wanted happened. But I
Yeah.
landed 14 interviews, and I had interviews daily, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And I landed my first role within 40 days of just working with Tech Sales Mentor.
Yeah.
I actually expected for me to, I was like, will I actually land the role within that many days? And here I am. So
Yeah,
I'm,
and so then like when it came to your offer, sorry, I'm struggling over here now. When it came to the offer you got,
Mhm.
one thing you said about high ticket sales was that like it wasn't fulfilling you the way you wanted, like it wasn't enough. What was it about the offer and company you're joining that makes you think like, oh yeah, like this is where I want my career to grow?
Well, first things, the company was an enterprise company, and I really love that. And I'm an enterprise BDR, which
Yeah.
is something very very exciting.
Yeah.
And another thing that really fulfilled me about this company was that, well, first thing, we all care about the amount of money that we get into our pocket.
Yeah.
And I got a 60K base and a 100K OTE. Now, this stood out to me a lot as well. And I know this company is pretty reputable, so I'll actually be able to get to that OTE. And that's something that I wanted. Now, in high ticket sales, it was only commissions. So if I didn't sell any product, plus it wasn't reputable company. So
Yeah.
some months you would have those times where you look at your paycheck and like, what am I supposed to do now?
Yeah.
But this is what I'm not going to be experiencing at Cordy, which I'm very, very happy about.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's important.
100%, yeah.
In tech sales, like you have a lot of upside, but you still have that like base level protection of not only base pay, but like you're actually an employee. Like you're not a contractor, right?
Yeah.
Like you're getting benefits, you're getting health care, you're getting good equity. And so it really is just like when I see people in other sales paths not in tech, it's almost like uh, you're just not getting as good of a deal as if you were in tech. Simply put, like tech companies compensate better across the board for reps, and so that's great. Now looking back on it, like your friends were like, "Yo, tech sales mentors cost a lot." In your mind, like one, was it worth it? And then two, let's say someone is considering us and like watching this video. What would you say to them?
I would say if you're really, really confident that you're a great fit, in any sort of tech sales companies, especially the enterprise ones that you're looking at, because I know you guys, whoever is watching this, is definitely looking through LinkedIn. Can I get into this company? Can I get into that company? If you're really confident that you can, Tech Sales Mentor is the way to go. The money that you spend is only when you do get the contract, when you do sign the contract, even. So you're not losing anything. All you're doing is improving your skills and also landing the opportunity that you wanted. Now, first year, you're going to have to pay, which is normal. I'm going to have to pay as well, but I'm completely okay with that
Yeah.
because that is part of the process. And if you want to grow fast and efficient, this is the way to go. If you don't want to, if you're not willing to bet on yourself and you're not confident enough, then go ahead, do your own thing until you actually get into that confidence.
Yeah.
That would be my take. That's the take that I had, and that's the take that I told my friends as well.
Yeah, it makes sense. And one thing you said there, I'm curious about, which is like, you said if someone's looking at these enterprise roles and they're like, I think I can get this, like I'm a fit. Like, what if someone doesn't know if they're a fit? Like, what would you say made you a fit for the enterprise role?
Well, that would be to prove yourself. Well, for me was, can I become a top performer at a company that I'm working right now? And how am I becoming a top performer? Because in fitness sales, a lot of people are just becoming top performers based on just going through walk-ins and just seeing people coming in, looking for memberships, and just waiting there until like middle of the night. Now, what I did was I generated from my own business. Just at least 30 plus of my memberships monthly were just purely for my own business. And I had the confidence to make cold calls, send whether it was email outreaches or iMessages, whatever it was. I was really confident with that, and I noticed that honestly, I can do better, and I can even go higher level. And I talked to my manager. My manager told me the same. My manager was like, "If you're performing like this at 19, 20, you gotta move up fast."
Yeah.
So that clicked in my mind, and I came right away to TSM.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you have a bright future ahead of you, so I'm excited for you.
Thank you so much.
So I will leave your LinkedIn below if anyone wants to connect with you. And for anyone who wants to start a top tech sales job in the next 60 days, you can check us out below at techsalesmentors.com. So thanks again, man. We'll chat more soon.
Yeah, of course.